Do you or someone in your life have trouble making decisions and it's causing problems? Well, this video's for you. Hi, everybody.
Hi. How's everyone doing today?
Today we decided to talk about something that's caused a lot of problems early on in our relationship, and it really has to do with anxiety. It's the trouble with making decisions. And it's more than the I don't know, where do you want to eat game. There's a lot of other different levels to it as well. But the big thing that I think everybody plays is you're driving in the car. I don't know, where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know, where do you want to eat?
I don't know.
I don't know, where do you want to eat?
You pick. I can't deal with this.
And then we do the thing of this. I'll say, oh, I don't know, how about Mexican?
No.
And that's when I know, okay, I've been down this road. Where have I been down this road? Oh, about every single time. So this is what's going on in my head on the first time. Where do you want to go? Mexican?
No.
This is what's going in my head. That's what's going on. Accurate representation. But no, do I put that to her? I don't. I take what this is. A deep cleansing breath. Okay, that's fine. How about a steakhouse?
No, I don't want steak.
Okay, how about, Italian?
Ugh, yuck. That's too fattening.
All right. By the third time I say something in the car, I'm ready to turn the car around, drive back home, go in the house, make myself a Hot Pocket because in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm going to have a delicious meal. But no, I'm going to have a little bit of thing I call patience. Okay, let's go through a couple more. How about a little fast food?
Ugh.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to sit down and eat with you.
Okay, you want to sit down and eat, that's swell. How about, how about how about chili?
No, I don't want to sit down at home and eat with you. I wanted to go out with you.
Okay. By the fifth no, I turn into a little character called Petty the Eagle. And I am full on petty. I don't care. I'm going to fly around and I'm going to say the thing and I'm not going to say a word. I'm not saying a word. I'm waiting for her to say anything. She gives me one choice and Petty the Eagle is flying down. Oh, please, what is it? Nope! Nope! Nope, I don't care what she said. She could have said, I want to take you and eat tacos at the Colts game at the 50-yard line, and Petty the Eagle would say no, just to be spiteful. That's where I'm at emotionally. And I didn't get it. I didn't get the fact of what she's trying to do. And it took me a long time, years and years and years, to figure this out. And, one time we were at dinner, and I decided to, she was kind of, there's a thing of, her liquid tolerance as far as, one margarita, she starts feeling a little bit. 2 margaritas, she kind of loosens up. So I decided to say, hey, why do we keep going through this? Why is this, I know how it's going to go. And I know my frustration level is already, if you right here's your all you can take. I'm here every time because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to say whatever, 100 things, and she's going to say no without reciprocating any sort of plan or idea. And this is the first thing that we had the first breakthrough that made sense to me because I'm very analytical. I think of things of, where we're going to go out to eat. Well, first, what do we have the money for? That's what I'm doing. And then the second thing is, okay, are either of us having a fat day? Should I take that into consideration? And then the third thing is, time and things like that. So I'm constantly thinking of everything I can do to bundle things together and come up with the best solution. And, when you come out, and I'm sure a lot of people out here have done this, where you're throwing out the 20, 30, 40 answers, and they know what they don't want to do. But, this is supposed to be a tennis match. I'm hitting the ball to you. Hit it back over the net. Hit it back over. She's just watching it. She ain't even moving. She's standing there with the racket down. Nope. Nope. Hit it back once, please. And she doesn't. And for me, that caused a lot of problems in our relationship early on because, I didn't realize it was another component of anxiety because I'm expecting you to hit back. Let's, compromise a little bit. I'm down for whatever. I just want to go eat. I'm hungry, So finally, when we were sitting down there, and I was basically said, okay, she's kind of loosened up a little bit. Let's think about, or talk about how can this never happen again, or at least cut down on how many times it's going to happen again. And I asked her, when I give you, Mexican, steakhouse, this, and I know that you've had a history with these or that, or I understand you enjoy them, and the feedback you give me is, basically just no, but, how about this? And you never do it. I said, what goes through your head when I'm asking you this, or how can we do it? And do you remember what you said?
I was thinking of, I feel like in our society today, we're overstimulated. And that's not, I don't remember what I said then, but right now I was thinking a lot of my answer right now would be, it's so, everything around me when you have anxiety, you're so overstimulated. It's just like, you just feel like you need to be put in packaged paper and everybody needs to just back the hell up, if I can say that word.
Sure, it's your channel. Do what you want.
But everybody needs to back up because I'm overstimulated. And when you're saying, what do you want to eat? Automatically that's putting me on the spot, which is something someone with anxiety they don't like to be put on the spot. It's just something, it just causes more anxiety. So when you're put on the spot, then your mind just jumbles. Everything jumbles it. You can't think straight, and I can't remember what I wanted. And he says that he wants to make both of us happy. Well, I'm thinking through too, trying to make both of us happy, because in all actuality, I know I want Mexican every time I want Mexican, but is that what's best? I mean, that's my default is Mexican. That's always been my default.
And the thing about it that I finally, where I had to, on that night, I had to Sally retire Petty the Eagle because we had a breakthrough. I know, I was sad too, but happy as well. And is the fact of she explained it to me in terms that finally made sense to me. Because while I'm saying, okay, I've given you 10 choices, you give me 10 no's with no other option, what she explained to me finally made the light bulb go ding. And that was, in her mind, when I ask her a question of, I don't know, where do you want to eat? It's like you being called up in elementary school to the chalkboard, and she is looking at the chalkboard, and she sees all these letters, but they're all jumbled. And it's like a word search, and she's looking around, and she knows the words are there, and she knows the choices are there, but I'm constantly talking, and she's looking around, searching for the word, and she knows she has an underlying feeling below the surface of what she wants, but she can't find it. She's just taken her and looking around, and where is that word that I want to find? And I cut it off with this. Okay, how about a steakhouse? And she's like, no. It's like I have one piece of chalk, and the whole blackboard is covered with letters. And there's one little space where you can write, and I go up to the board and go, Mexican. And she has her eraser, and that's not what she was trying to find. She goes, nope. And she goes back to searching for the word search. So in my mind, I'm thinking, man, this is kind of, almost rude, or what I'm really trying here, and you're not, reciprocating any ideas at all. And I go, okay, I'll write down, how about Chick-fil-A? Nope. No. And it's a thing of, it's not about what I'm, trying to propose to her. It's more of the fact of she's trying to find a word in that jumbled up word search, and she is her anxiety is at such a level that she's trying to find it, but can't give everything back because she knows this word is there. This word is in this jumbled thing, but she can't grasp it yet. So that's when it really, it really took hold of me of like, oh, I get that then. I get that you're trying to find something, and maybe right then isn't the best time to have the answer.
Yeah. And I can never come up with the answer. Sometimes it just comes to me. I know when we leave, I know what I want. But sometimes just, like now, I just feel like I can't grasp words. I'm trying to talk and be on camera and listen to him and get everything in my head. But there's also other things going on in my head. And it's just, like I said, overstimulation. There's just so much in our society, I feel today, especially with phones and and games and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest. There's just so much going on that I don't think our brains are really able to latch on to everything, because, you know, I don't think we were meant to develop, you know, this in this craziness.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And that's what, when we were talking about it that night, you know, it is a different thing. We play the I don't know, where do you want to eat game. But it's not just that, you know, it's a lot of decisions in our lives or in your life. You know, it is eating, it is maybe jobs, it is maybe vacation, it is, you know, who we're going to spend time with and things like that. You know, it's, everybody can relate to the I don't know where you want to eat game, because, you know, maybe you've played it with someone. You have. It's happened. But when you're playing with somebody with anxiety, it's not checkers, it's chess. There's so many different little intricacies and levels and things like that, and moves ahead that you have to think. There's a lot more that goes into everything when you're trying to play that with someone with anxiety. So the big thing that, you know, I remember talking to Karina about that night was that, you know, I understand it's jumbled, but don't feel, you know, some type of way about it. You know, don't feel like I'm sitting there judging you. If I say now, I'll say Mexican, and then I'll just sit there and, you know, wait for her, you know, and then we'll try to go through whatever, or I'll ask another couple of questions. That'll be that until, you know, just like I say, when you throw the rock in the pond, all the ripples go. So I wait a couple minutes to say, okay, when are the ripples going to stop? When is it okay to kind of come back in, or whatever? But, you know, one of the things we figured out is, you know, with her and everybody out there, you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. You know, you're your own person, and you're okay with your own feelings. Take the time that you need. Just because my brain processes things at a quicker level doesn't make me any better or any worse than her.
And that's way intimidating, because it's like you are so quick. You're quick-witted. You're quick at everything. And so I think for me, in our case, it adds so much more pressure to me and more anxiety, because I look at you and I'm like, oh my gosh, you think so quick, and you're so smart, and you're funny, and you're quick-witted, and so then I feel like I have to match, which obviously is never going to happen.
That's great
baby.
PR. Thank you very much. Oh my
but
gosh.
The point is, you feel intimidated a lot. You know, it's like, especially with friends or family, everybody is like, oh, Chris, he's so smart and funny and fast and this and that. Well, then I'm sitting here going, I can't think of a word, you know, I can't think of where I want to eat. And, you know, then you just start downplaying yourself, and you get in your head and you start, okay, Karina, you're ridiculous. You're dumb. You're stupid. You can't do this. You're right. You can't do anything right. Your brain doesn't work. You know, you just start beating yourself up, and then you just, again, that snowball effect down that hill. You just want to stay in your room and hide, you know, for.
And that's what I tell her. You know, and maybe it'll help somebody out there, is don't give people that don't deserve it the power to control your environment. You have your own atmosphere. Don't give people that don't deserve it, you know, the power to control your emotions, the power to make you feel some sort of way. If people love you and it's in your circle, what you need to do is take the time, and they will understand. And when you feel comfortable doing it, explain to them, hey, this is kind of what I need. Maybe not right then, not when you have a flare up and you start, we call it getting it, you know, when you start getting it with anxiety, you know. That's
Shout out to my brother.
Yeah, that is. But that's not the time to talk through things when they're having anxiety. When it's quieter, that's the time you have to do it, you know. And then we plan ahead that, you know, of things. You know, there's different levels, you know. Like today, I know when we leave, I don't know exactly where we're eating today. It's going to be fun, but I've got a couple things. But I know for a fact, 100, she's going to want a Polar Pop. So I know, okay, let's go. Victories beget victories. Let's just keep that ball rolling. Let's go Polar Pop. Ooh, 1 for 1. And then we'll go from there. You know, but then to have a little bit of grace, you know, if you're with someone that you know is anxious, they're not being, you know, trying to be rude to you. It's just a thing of right then, when you ask them the question, they can't give you the response that you want. So we have to have a little bit more patience with them. We have to give them a little bit more options, a little bit more, you know, rope to go and run until they find their way. But that's the biggest thing. You know, and that's why we decided to do these videos. That's why we decided to do, you know, we're going to start the online blog here shortly. That's why we're going to try to put out a helpful ebook. It's a thing of communication and things that you have to live through every day of your life. You know, this is a journey. You know, the anxiety, your anxiety life and our anxiety life is a journey. And it's just about getting a little bit better.
And there's different stages of anxiety too that I want to make sure that we touch on. Like there was the beginning that we talked about in our last video. If you want to go back, you can watch our last video where we talked about the beginning, where it's just straight, you know, freaking out, which, you know, I'm sure in the future videos we're going to talk about the absolute panic and pandemonium of not being able to leave your house for 6 months and not being able to leave your bedroom for 6 months. I feel like over our 25 years together, I've grown and I've learned how to deal with all this different levels of panic. And when I first started out, I had no tools and I had no idea what to do. And I thought my life was over. You know, I thought I just, you know, even at some points, I hate saying it, but I felt like I had to end my life because I didn't think I could possibly do this for the rest of my life. And I didn't have to. It does, I say, kind of go away because you learn different tools to deal with everything and learn how to not let it affect you so much. Because now I do still have some anxiety and, well, a lot, but I've learned what my triggers are. I've learned how to deal with it. And with his help, I mean, he's been a great deal of help because he's very intelligent and he can think through things pretty quickly. Stop it. I can see you shaking your head outside my eye. But, and you made me lose my track. This is part of it. Where was I? This is good for on
just
camera.
On a roll. Yeah, this is great for on camera.
When you get to a certain point in your life, after dealing with it for so long, you learn different ways to handle it. And now when I start having these anxiety, I know it and I feel it coming. And so I know how to deal, and I use certain tools, whatever tools that I've kept over the years, and I put them to work. And they work, usually. I have a couple a year that, you know, it doesn't always work. But please don't think that you're in an absolute dire situation that you can't solve your problems, because I know how that feels, and we both know, you know, we both went through this very dark period in our lives, and I just want to make sure that we put it out there in the universe that it's going to be okay. It's always going to be okay. You just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other.
And that's exactly right. And not only the tools she learns, the tools the person in the relationship learns. Because when she had a trouble there a couple minutes ago about finding words in her train of thought, early on, I would jump in, grab it, and take control of the situation and get going. This time, like I said before, you are stronger than you give yourself credit for. I knew she could dig herself out of it, so I just, which is hard for me, shut my mouth. I shut my mouth and let her do it because I knew she could do it.
Because sometimes you just throw words at me. And then that just, again, that's your chalkboard theme. Right. It's like, no, get this out of my face. I'm trying to think, you know. So him being quiet helps. Sometimes I can't dig myself out of it, though. Sometimes I just stare. I'm at work and I just stare at the POS screen like, yeah, I know it's right there. I just don't see it, you know. So it just happens. It's part of anxiety, and it's okay. It's okay to be like that. It really is.
It is.
And I'm glad it happened on camera, even though I'm probably going to be really embarrassed about it. But
it's not going to be embarrassed by it.
It's what happens.
It's what the life is. No one's perfect. It's just a journey, and we're going to process. We're going to get better. And I hope, you know, going forward, you find some sort of value in these videos. You find some sort of helpfulness, and to know sometimes it makes people feel stronger that you're not alone. There are a lot of other people going through this and have these sort of, you know, anxieties and relationship problems and things like that. And hopefully this helps you. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you are please watching this on YouTube, if you could go underneath and subscribe and like, it would go a long way to doing that. But
go a long way to helping our channel so we could get out there to more people. Please like it. Please subscribe.
We're going to call it a day because one of us, at least, is hungry, and I'm looking over the clock, and I'm missing the Chicago's Pizza Buffet, so we're going to have to figure out something else. So Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Hey, so
Sure.
bye for now.
Bye,
High five
everybody.
out.